Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I'm here working on a Sunday so I can get the important news, the important information over to our beloved community. Bernie Sanders from Vermont renewed his calls for $2,000 a month in stimulus payments in the past 24 hours, and he also called for $600 a month unemployment benefits, and he slammed what he called the Do Nothing Senate and the stalled negotiations about the stimulus package. In fact, I'll read out the tweet from Bernie Sanders. He wrote, and I'm quoting Bernie Sanders, "The American people can't afford to wait any longer. Every working class American needs $2,000 a month. Every unemployed American needs $600 a week. Every American needs healthcare as a human right. No one in America should go hungry or homeless." This is Bernie Sanders. "The Do Nothing Senate must act." Now, these are important words. He said the Do Nothing Senate. Right now, we have 50 Republican senators led by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. We have 48 Democratic senators. So the Senate is Republican controlled. The House is still Democrat controlled, though the Senate, the majority in the House has shrunk for the Democrats because the Democrats lost over half a dozen House seats, and it was a big shock for them. I covered a lot of Democratic senators yelling, cursing, crying, saying, hey, this whole, we're not socialists, etc. And the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said she wants a large stimulus. Joe Biden has said he wants a large stimulus. Chuck Schumer has said he wants a large stimulus. But guess what? Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said, nah, we need a targeted stimulus right in the $650 billion range. And the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin has basically said we need to repurpose money that was meant to be lent to large corporations, to rich corporations, and that should be repurposed as stimulus. So the two sides are still at odds, and that's why Bernie Sanders is saying the Do Nothing Senate must act, because as a Democrat, he has been amongst, he's pushed for a larger, more comprehensive stimulus package. So I want our viewers and subscribers to understand why he said the Do Nothing Senate. And I think this is very interesting. He said every working class American needs $2,000 a month. Every unemployed American needs $600 a week. And every American needs healthcare as a human right. No one in America should go hungry or homeless, according to Bernie Sanders. The Do Nothing Senate must act. Now, keep in mind that that Bernie Sanders has actually called for things like this, going back all the way in May, where he actually called for $2,000 a month, along with Kamala Harris, who's projected to be the vice president, and Ed Markey, who's a Democrat from Massachusetts. He argued that a one-time payment, he meaning Bernie Sanders, argued that a one-time payment of $1,200 that was provided in the previous legislation did not go far enough to help families that were struggling with the pandemic. And these three senators introduced what was called as the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. That is a Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. I have covered that elsewhere on my channel. And again, the focus of that Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act is to provide $2,000 a month to every individual with income below $120,000 throughout the pandemic, and for 3 months after the public health emergency was officially ended. And that is something that the president typically does. So what he said is that anyone making less than what he and the other two senators said, that anybody making less than $120,000 a year should get $2,000 a month, and they should get that during the pandemic and for 3 months once it concludes. So, lawmakers in Congress have been negotiating a stimulus package for a long time, as you know, but they haven't been able to come to a consensus. The Democrats want $2.2 trillion. They actually didn't even say yes to the $1.9 trillion offer from U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. By the way, it's clear that, with the new administration, there's going to be a new Treasury Secretary. So it's going to be quite interesting what's going to happen. Now, keep in mind that with the new administration, even if we have a U.S. Treasury Secretary who is friendly and supportive of House Speaker Pelosi, that won't matter if it's a Republican-controlled Senate. But if it's a Democrat-controlled Senate, let's say the Democrats win both seats in Georgia, which, by the way, they're going to try and do. It is projected that $500 million, the $500 million is going to be spent in the Georgia Senate runoff races. I've done a very detailed video on the Georgia Senate runoff races, including taking a closer look at the ads from both candidates, the Democrats as well as the Republicans. So you definitely want to take a close look at that video. $500 million is going to be spent on the Georgia Senate runoff races. Already some projections there are projections that over $200 million have been spent. So if Democrats retake control of the Senate, then, pretty much, we can expect a large stimulus early next year. But at this moment in time, what we have is Bernie Sanders asking for more stimulus, and the Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC from New York, said that the US pay people to stay home. The United States should pay people to stay home to get the virus under control. Wow. So she did criticize Republicans for failing to reach a consensus with Democrats. And she said, and I'm quoting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC now, 30 million people in this country are at risk for eviction. Millions of people are unemployed or underemployed from cutback hours. The economy is not the stock market. By the way, she's taking a dig at President Trump because President Trump has continuously, mentioned the stock market, the fact that the stock market's going up, the fact that it's doing well, the fact that it's helping people's 401ks. But it's a fact that half of the individuals in the country, the poorest half, if you will, have barely any money in the stock market. So what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said is the economy is not the stock market. We are not doing fine. And she said people need help in red states and blue, and our job is to help everyone. This is basic. That is what she said. So let me know what you think. And by the way, this is something, in case you're wondering where I got this reference, it is a conservative news outlet is where this news was referenced. You'll find all our references in the description section below. Listen, guys. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. For me, it doesn't matter whether news appears on a liberal outlet or a conservative outlet. What matters to me is what officials say, what courts decide, and what impact that has for the future of our country. I'm not going to report on insinuations and allegations. I'm going to report on what people said. If you've been paying attention to my channel, you'll understand that the Ignition Time channel is not just a stimulus channel. It's not just an unemployment benefits channel. My goal is to educate you about our country, is to help you understand the state of our economy, and by extension help you to grow your money, because that's what I did. I do believe, let me be clear, I do believe the system is rigged. I do believe the American dream is unfortunately only for a select number of people. But let me be clear before you jump to a conclusion. Let me be clear. If you understand the way the country works, if you understand the way politics works, if you understand the way the economy works, and if you understand how to put yourself in a, how to get yourself to make more money by leveraging the system as opposed to fighting about the system or complaining about the system, I do believe you can get to the next level. And that is my commitment to you, to help you with that on our channel. You'll see other playlists on our channel, the Financial Freedom series and, Growing Your Money series and the Millionaire Mindset series. So definitely check out those playlists on our channel as well. I think you'll get a lot out of it. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Let me know what you think of Bernie Sanders' new comments, or I should say his comments reiterating the need, in his opinion, for a $2,000 a month stimulus, $600 a week unemployment benefits, and whether you think that's likely to happen with a Republican-controlled Senate. Yep. Right now we have a Republican-controlled Senate. Could we have a Democratic-controlled Senate? Yeah, we could, but who knows? Look, let's not try and predict the election. Let's try and understand where things stand right now and what we should be doing as responsible, educated citizens to be able to take care of ourselves and our families going forward. Because at the end of the day, for these senators, it's about politics. It's about doing different things. For us, it's about putting food on the table. For us, it's about paying rent. And for us, it's about trying to keep the lights on. That's what really matters to us. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm eager to know whether you support some of the comments from Bernie Sanders about the $2,000 a month proposal, by the way, which was supported by Kamala Harris, who's projected to be the next Vice President of the United States. So these things are important. These things matter because the past comments from officials matter. Let me know if you agree with AOC's comments that, hey, who cares about the stock market? We need to be able to help people. We need to be able to help people pay rent, and we need to be able to help people who are at risk for eviction, because she did point out that 30 million individuals in the country are at risk for eviction. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Also, check out all the other extensive videos on our channel about the economy, about the country, about where we are at right now in our country, about what you should do with your money. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. So I'll start to wrap up now. One final time, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications, and please click the like button if you learn something new. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you taking a moment of your time today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye. Thanks.